Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about how millennials, just like me, with the exception of the financial part, are now going into the most credit card debt ever. Boomers also are contributing to this credit card crisis, right? We have credit card rates at 24, 25% interest rates right now. We're not going to make that in the stock market, right? I think I averaged about 28% this year in the stock market. So again, we can all do better, but I can't even imagine having that money go towards a credit card interest rate. So in order to get ahead, just like one of the shorts that I had posted earlier, we have to understand why people are spending money the way they are. There's a couple of factors. So the first factor is going to be you feel guilty, right? We all feel guilty when we don't have the money. I remember when I was 18, 19 years old, and there were things that would come up and I just did not have the money. Saying no when you don't have something was like the worst thing ever. It felt horrible. It felt like this is not what is supposed to happen. I would probably do it if I had the cash. But when I started to actually gain in my income, when I started to actually have savings, when I had funds available and I still said no, and I did not want to go into that route, I felt so much more secure in doing so because it was an option. There was at one point where I didn't have the option but to say no. And the difference is that people are saying yes when they don't have the option. They're swiping that card regardless, right? And it feels so much better now that I have the option, but I'm still saying no to those services. Number two, you want it and you want it now, right? We all have been there. We want it and we want it now. I even remember there was a time where there was this car that I wanted, and no matter what, I just wanted to have this car. I said, I'm going to wait because I understand that the value of cars, the value of things like that depreciate. They're not going to stay high. There's going to be more makes, more models coming out year over year, and it's going to be an older brand, an older model. You understand? So I understood that the price that it's at today, $45,000, $50,000, it'll be $30,000. And I don't want to pay a premium in 2023, knowing 2024 is right around the corner. That might have been 5 months, 6 months, 7 months ago. But guess what? I have a paid off car. It works. What do I need a new vehicle for? And so, again, checking yourself sometimes, understanding you don't need it and you don't need it right now. Your life has been just fine without it, and it will continue to run without it. It's understanding those little things that'll keep you on the path to financial freedom. Number three, again, we talked about feeling guilty. We talked about needing it and needing it now. Number three is not understanding money and not wanting to speak about money. I'm just going to lump those two things in together. There's a lot of people who, again, feel so guilty about their bad financial habits and their bad spending habits that they don't even want to talk about money. Any talk about money is a horrible conversation. It's not a conversation to be had. It's not a conversation that feels good. It's not a conversation to be had in the house around children or around friends or around family. I don't want them to know that I'm doing bad. I don't want them to know that I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want them to know that my credit card debt keeps increasing. I don't want them to know that my phone is not paid off. All of these things continue to add up, continue to eat at you to the point that you're silent. You're not researching. You're not studying. You're not understanding money. And so you can't even help yourself. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can start to learn more about how good money habits can affect you and start to grow your financial freedom journey. Now, so we talked about guilt. We talked about wanting it and wanting it now. We talked about just feeling as if you can't speak about money because of those first two things that we spoke about earlier. Now, number 4 is the last point I'm going to harp on. It's the entitlement. A lot of people feel entitled not only to time, not only to things, but to other people's money. Until you stop feeling entitled to what other people have, and that includes your parents, that includes your friends, that includes your family members, you now have a sense of, okay, I need to start to do for myself. I need to start to figure things out. I can't just willy-nilly everything. Right? There are things that we all save for. When you want to save for something, you'll figure it out. If they say you need 10% down in order to get something, you'll figure out how to get 10% down. But when it comes to your own emergency fund, when it comes to your own financial freedom, when it comes to getting out of debt, we all figure out excuses to not pay for something. But when something is important to us, we do it. Start to fall in love with the boring. Start to fall in love with the things that matter that you just don't want to work on, right? I worked on that savings account. I worked on that emergency fund. I worked on the stocks when the stocks weren't growing like it's growing now. I worked on all these things to have opportunity present itself to me and then be able to cash in on it. I didn't know that I was saving for a house. I just was saving and then I bought it. I didn't know I was saving for another one. I was just saving and then I bought it. I didn't know that I was going to invest more and more and more every single year into the stock market. I just kept investing and it kept growing. And then I didn't know that I would make so much in 2023. But you know what happens when you continue to do the same thing? Compound interest, compound interest, compound interest. And that is just going to continue to allow you to grow, right? And so when you have all this money in different avenues, there's one thing that you still remember is how you got started and how to say no to different things. Do not feel guilty. Do not feel like you have to provide for everyone else but yourself. You are your own savior. You have to go out there, work every single day, and make sure that is going towards something. Make sure that you're taking steps to a better future, a better life. And then you can start to invest in the future once you're out of debt, once you have everything in order. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.